Stations over there. Yeah. No. Right. And this just happened, I believe, this morning. And this was on Twitch. He went live on Twitch. U.S. Airman sets himself on fire outside the Israel embassy to protest genocide. Active duty airman reportedly said he did not want to be complicit in genocide as he lit himself on fire. Now, Primo is absolutely correct on the fact that there has been a history of this. Most recently in Tunisia, right? That's how it is. And this is Al Jazeera. So like we were just looking at Israel Times, and now this is Al Jazeera, which is going to slant towards the pro-Palestinian stance. Doing this on purpose because I think it's important for everyone to get a wide range of ideas of what's going on and who's saying what about this subject. So this dude, Mohammed Bouazizi, I don't know how to say that, but my apologies. Yes, and Titch Quan Duck. Yeah, he was out there. He really killed it, and he even made the Rage Against the Machine's cover. Right, Rage Against the Machine put Mr. Duck on their on the cover of their, I think it was their first self-titled album. Well, I'm glad you do, Robbie, because I mean this is the only way I function. Remembering, so this man is the one who did this in Tunisia back during the Arab Spring, which was around 2013, I believe. Remembering Mohammed Bouazizi, the man who sparked the Arab Spring, on this day 10 years ago, this is an old article, but that's what they're talking about here. 17 December 2010 would have been a normal day for if the local press and people hadn't been there, says Ali Bouazizi. The fact they decided to stop being afraid of the government changed everything. It is 9 p.m. and Ali, who is now 48 years old, has just returned from work and in his mini market. I want to hear the story about the dude, bro. Like, I don't... When Muhammad was younger, people called him Basbos, which is Ali translate as someone who makes jokes. He used to be a funny guy. I just wanted the story of the dude, not this. On the morning of December 17, 2010, police had confiscated Mohammed's scales because he was working as a street vendor without a permit. He went to complain to the governor at the provincial government building in Sidi Bouzid, but he refused to see him. In an act of sheer desperation and protest, Mohammed set himself alight on the street outside. Nobody wanted to listen to him, says Ali. If I'd been there with him that day, I would have definitely intervened. I would have found a way to see the governor with force if needed. And, so this man set himself on fire, which sparked mass protest and CIA backed, by the way. Let's see. Talk about hot takes. Talk about hotcakes, baby. But dude didn't budge or make a sound for 10 minutes on fire. I kind of hope he was on drugs because doing that sober sounds brutal. Talk about hot takes. Oh, shit. You even have an email for this? Oh, Lord. That is rough. Duck was in deep meditation. Buddhist monk in Vietnam. Seems smart. Shit, I would have been so high on opium or something. Like, I couldn't do that shit. So, and here's the other one, 1963. Because of what I knew, and this is Malcolm Brown, the guy who took the picture of this now iconic image of Mr. Duck setting himself on fire, did not move a muscle, just died. Fucking crazy. Because of what I knew of the Buddhist tradition in Vietnam, I realized that I had to be taken seriously. So while other correspondents got tired of the endless Buddhist street demonstrations that were going on all that summer, I stuck with them because I had the sense that sooner or later something would happen. I became a familiar presence at the main pagoda in Saigon. The monks knew that I appreciated their cuisine. We were friendly. One of them was a Yale graduate, as a matter of fact, and I was sincerely interested in what they were doing, quite aside from the news value of it. One monk in particular would telephone me in advance the night before something was planned. One night he advised me to come to the pagoda at 7 in the morning because something very special and important was going to happen. He sent the same message to half a dozen other American correspondents, but they all ignored it. I did not. That was all. That morning, a Buddhist monk went out and sat down in the main intersection in downtown Saigon. Two of his fellow monks poured gasoline over him and set himself on fire and died. I was there, the only Western correspondent present and taking pictures. I suppose I took 6 or 8 rolls of 35 millimeter. Now, think about that. Think about being in that position where you're filming someone commit suicide and you're taking pictures of this person who's burning to death. And I couldn't imagine in that situation, like, he just was an observer, a fly on the wall. And you would think you would want to go and like put him out and try to save his life. But he saw the importance of this act, which I don't know how important it is, but like it's a very, it sucks that he died. And I hope that, something good came out of it. Although the Vietnam War was not a great outcome for anybody. My understanding of the reason behind the Buddhist protest, which seems important, was that the government made some of their practices illegal, like flying flags, and was brutally oppressing the Buddhist population. Yeah, well, that's important, right? That's important. Like, I didn't know really what was going on with all this. I don't know why he really did that. But these measures are taken in these are very extreme measures. And it's very, it takes a lot of balls to fucking burn yourself alive for a cause. And obviously, Mr. Duck felt that this was a worthy cause. What people will do when they are being oppressed. Which brings us back to the U.S. Airman. Now, I don't know. Yeah, it's very metal. Fucking brutal. This dude, felt very strongly about this. I don't know if this dude was suffering from mental health issues. I believe this happened this morning, or maybe it was yesterday. We'll read in and find out. So active duty airman reportedly said he did not want to be complicit in genocide as he lit himself on fire. Get the fuck out of here. An active member of the United States military has set himself on fire outside the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., according to officials, in an apparent act to protest against Israel's devastating war on Gaza. Aaron Bushnell, 25, was rushed to the hospital on Sunday, so this was Sunday morning, with critical life-threatening injuries, according to the U.S. Capitol's Fire Department. The agency said emergency responders rushed to the scene just before 1 p.m. in response to a call for person on fire outside the Israeli embassy. They arrived to find that officers from the U.S. Secret Service had already extinguished the fire. U.S. Air Force confirmed the incident involved an active duty airman. Free Palestine. U.S. media reports said Bushnell live streamed himself on Twitch wearing fatigues and declaring he would not be complicit in genocide before dousing himself in liquid. He then lit himself on fire while yelling Free Palestine until he fell to the ground. The footage has since been removed from Twitch. Local police said they are investigating the incident. The police also said an explosive ordnance disposal was requested to the scene in relation to a suspicious vehicle that may be connected to the individual. It later said that no hazardous materials were found. So they thought that fucking Jesus. They thought that he had bombs and shit going on. The Israeli embassy said all of its staff members were safe. A spokesperson told the New York Times. Israel's embassy has been a target of continued protest against the Israeli war on Gaza. The protest started, yes, we know that. Let's see what they have to say about it. Since October 7th, Israeli forces have waged a military campaign against the coastal enclave, lying much of it to waste, with nearly 30,000 people dead, according to Palestinian health officials. In December, a protester set herself on fire outside the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. A Palestinian flag was found at the scene, and the act was believed to be of extreme political protest. Who's going to pay his bill? Did he at least get a hype train? Listen, here's the thing, man. Here in America, I'm not saying we're not oppressed, but like we have it leagues better than some other countries. We have it leagues better. So I don't believe that this dude was oppressed. And I don't believe that that lady who set herself on fire, I didn't even know that another person set themselves on fire in Atlanta. I don't believe that these people are oppressed. And that what leads me to think that they are mentally ill. Like these people have to be mentally fucked, dude. To think that this is, I mean, did anybody else hear about this girl who set herself on fire in Atlanta? I didn't hear about it. It wasn't on the fucking news. It might have been a blurb, but I didn't hear about this shit. Like, she died in vain, and that's so fucking sad. But I do hope that homeboy did get a hype train. My understanding for the reason behind the boot. Oh yeah, I already read that. Yeah, and we're gonna watch the video. I'm not gonna play the one that is that shows him on fire. The one I'm going to show blurs him out, but it is really disturbing. One guy did it at the Pentagon long ago. I did not. Yeah, and I don't even know what that dude did it for, right? Like these other people who did it, like Mr. Duck and what's his name? I forgot his name already. The guy in Tunisia. These things sparked real change, and it grabbed the attention of the world. And I feel like with this news, with how the news cycle works in the world, especially in America, that this is just going to be buried tomorrow by the next thing, right? Like, it's sad because I think that these people thought that they were really going to do something and this was going to be real change, but these people they just died terribly, and that's really fucking sad, man. Hype trains aside, it's really fucking sad to think that these young people are burning themselves to death because they believe in this, what's going on, and they really want to make a change, and yet nothing's going to change. And that's just sucks. That's just like a shitty sentiment, but that's what I think it is. Yes, I know the audio is disturbing. I seen the blurred one too, and the other one got taken off the internet. Turns out the only stream they had ever done. They created the account just for this, but clearly knew how Twitch worked and make a VOD would stay up. Default, it wouldn't. Yeah, so I have a couple of them pulled up here. Now again, if you guys are, I don't want you guys stop. This one is particularly brutal because they didn't blur out, like the other ones were like big squares that blurred out. I believe this one is just, they pixelate it, so there is still a lot to see here. Not that this is something that anybody wants to see. This is hard to watch, you guys. You guys, stop it. So we're going to watch it. If you're listening on the audio version of this podcast, you know, the sound is horrible too. So if you're not into this, you guys, I would definitely, you know, switch to something else and mute for a minute, for the next minute or so, because this is definitely trigger warning all fucking day long. So just fair warning, giving everybody fair warning, y'all. And now they're actually showing the burning of the monk in Vietnam, Mr. Duck. So it's two very, this is like, hold on, let me see where this, okay, hold on. Look, we might have to, All right, so here's the first part of it, you guys. I don't know if this shows it all.
Of the United States Air Force. I am an
Yeah, 3 minutes, guys.
I am an active duty member of the United States Air Force, and I will no longer be complicit in genocide. I'm about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it's not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal.
Mad respect, though. Shit. I mean, even this part is disturbing, where he's just walking and talking. Like, his breathing, listen to his breathing. I don't know if this dude's dead or not, either. And what he has is he's walking in front of the Israeli embassy. He has like a thermos he has a thermos of gasoline or some kind of propellant. He did die, and he's dumping it on his head right now. He put his hat back on after he dumped it on himself. For Palestine, he said. And now someone's gonna approach him. This is fucked up.
Can I help you, sir?
Oh, free Palestine!
Hey!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Man's on fire! Man's on fire!
Get on the ground! Free Palestine!
Get on the ground! On the ground! On the ground! Get on the ground!
Get on the ground.
On the ground! On the ground!
Oh God, you can hear his skin sizzling. Jesus Christ. And he finally fell. He falls over.
Call the board!
Get
Call
on the
the
ground,
board!
right? Yeah, what's he gonna do?
Call the board!
Now watch what happens.
Get the fire extinguisher!
Yeah, they're like,
Hey, get the fire extinguisher!
yeah, he's like, Jesus Christ, get the fire extinguisher. Here comes homeboy with a gun. Like, why is there a gun drawn on this dude who's on fire? Like, this is wild. This is fucking wild. This dude still has a gun trained on this dude. Stop, drop, and roll, sir.
Another one.
He says, I don't need guns, I need fire extinguishers. Look, I don't know if this dude's just doing what he's just doing his job with the gun out, but like, it's just like, he's fucking on fire, bro. He's on fire. It's over. It's over. That's really hard. Yeah, get on the ground for being on fire. He knew he got on the ground, they could put him out. Yeah. They say that Quang Duc's heart survived the flames unscarred, a righteous calling card left upon the palace gates. Propaganda, dude, propaganda is fucking dope. I mean, he lit himself on fire. Stop. If he comes toward the cop, he gonna get popped. Yeah, and I'm guessing Naders, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for dropping that butt slut. I think he was considered a threat, but not sure how. Yeah, and you know what? Primo makes a good point. If he was to walk towards police or other people, he definitely would be putting people in danger. So that does make more sense why he would have his gun drawn. So the police are there to protect the citizens supposedly. So I definitely see the point now. Thank you, Primo, for pointing that out, because I was just like, why has this guy got a fucking gun on him? Like, what the fuck? He feared for his life. Maybe he thought he would give him a bear hug. Yeah, exactly, to help themselves. Yeah, it's wild, man. This is a wild situation, and there's a little bit more going on here.
What is this? I need fireboard.
What is this? Who is this?
What is that? Who is this? So we do have. Here is some. So this is Andy No, who is not liked by Antifa at all. Who has been attacked by Antifa, but this is dude's. He has him in there. This is the guy who lit himself on fire. This is his picture from his social media. Let's see what else is up here. He is one of the most principled comrades I've ever known, said Xylem, who worked with Bushnell to support San Antonio's unhoused residents. He's always trying to think about how he can actually achieve liberation for all with a smile on his face. I don't know if he was smiling. Like that's really hard to watch. Like you can hear his skin sizzling. Like you can hear him getting the breath sucked out of his lungs because he's breathing fire, and him trying to yell "Free Palestine." I don't know. I don't know what this is gonna do. I mean, this has only been, the news kind of broke yesterday, so I don't know what's gonna happen out of this, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna impact anything. Not the right avenue to redress his grievances. Unfortunately, he made no impact on anything. And that's the thing, man. Like, that's what's so sad about this, especially like that young lady who burned herself in Atlanta. It's like we don't even know her name. They didn't even say her name in that Al Jazeera article. And the only reason why we know this guy's name is that it's headlines right now. It's just unfortunate that these young folks are gonna die in vain and in a horrible manner. It's just terrible. It's very, very sad. And to hear him and hear his screams, like, fuck, dude. And the sizzle, like that sizzle is what fucked with me, man. The sizzling and his bubbling skin was just like, oof, that is rough. This is what the road of to hell is paved in with good intentions means. Yeah. He's used his last breaths for what he believes. Yeah, and again, big up to this dude, right? Big up to I already forgot his name. Big up to Bushnell. Like, he's out there doing what he believes in, and that's, I don't know if that counts as peaceful protest. I guess he didn't kill anybody or attack anybody. He just lit himself on fire. That is not a peaceful. That's extreme protest, like he said. But yeah, big up to him for doing what he believed in and going out the way he wanted to. It's just a very shitty way to do it, man. And we're not stopping the war machine by lighting ourselves on fire, friends. People have no real viable outlet to express their grievances unless you have $1 billion. Yeah. I mean, I guess social media is one way people express themselves, but I don't know. He did it on Twitch. Maybe he thought that would be the best way to garner support. Another person who died. R.I.P. to Eric Mays, by the way. I don't know if you guys know who Eric Mays is, but he is a council member, city councilman. He was of Flint, Michigan. And he was just the biggest badass ever. And R.I.P. to him.
What's your point?
I'm going to make it clear.
Thank you. Is there any other member who wishes to speak? Thank you. Is there any other member who wishes to speak? Mr. Murphy.
It's, to the residents out here, it's clear Councilman Mays don't like me. It's clear that I don't care. It's clear that he can't talk to me any kind of way.
This dude's
Point of information.
What's your point?
I'm going to make it clear I love you and everybody else. I just pray for you more.
I just pray for you
Point
more.
of information. Continue.
He said, please don't pray for me. I know that was so quick, but if you guys don't know who Eric Mays is, this dude is probably the greatest council member ever.